after 9 on Wednesday, July 3rd, and I will go ahead and call to order the weekly meeting of the Logansport Board of Works and Safety. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mayor Franklin?
Here.
Chris Armstrong?
Here.
Ron Miller?
Present.
Approval of minutes.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes of the June 26th meeting as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, passes on a vote of 3-0. Approval of claims in the amount of $286,887.04.
I've reviewed them. I make a motion we approve the claims in the amount of $286,887.04 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, passes on a vote of 3-0. We have a request, or there are no licenses for consideration today. Are there any visitor comments? Okay. Under old business, Alfonso Perez, 516 East Linden. Is that you?
Yes, no.
Please come forward.
Linden, no.
Okay, what is the address?
516 West Broadway.
West Broadway. Just a typo. Okay, Mr. Perez, is your attorney aware that you're here today? Is Andrew Aki your attorney?
Uh-huh.
Okay, and Andrew was here about 3 weeks ago, and we notified him at that time that we would request your presence here. Who is representing, who's following up the code enforcement officers and the zoning issues? Please come forward. Mr. Perez, there was, as you're aware, some history with your property and some zoning issues, as well as the proper use of your property, and there was also some code enforcement issues that were discovered, and we've been working with you for at least 6 months now that I can recall. We had you back today so that we could measure your response to see what kind of progress you're making in order to come into compliance with the city code, with the city laws. And to your right is our zoning administrator, our planning director, I'm sorry, not our zoning administrator, and our code enforcement officer who are following up on the city's behalf to see what kind of progress is being made at your property. So do you have anything you would like to add before I ask questions of the planning department and the code enforcement officer?
Yeah. I say for what? First, I retire. Cannot pay to another contractor for help me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Everything I will do it in this backyard. My backyard is 45 by 165 feet. What happened? I have this property, I have another property in the North Street, 1321, 420 West Melbourne.
Okay.
And for this I need some equipment. This push mower, lawn mower, tiller, snow blower, another more. And for this I got a license for make garage, porch, fence for 6 feet. This is the first time I got a license with Gary Scaloni before you brother. What happened? Now I put another roof for this equipment, lawnmower, push mower, it's all
I'm
right.
Somewhat familiar with what you've done. It appears as if you've put a roof, attached a roof to a fence.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, which is
yes,
not
yes,
acceptable.
Yes. I know. I'm guilty for this. I know.
Uh-huh.
This is the rule here in this state, in this everything. I say, this is the rule for put. Maybe if I go Home Depot, I buy this barn, I put in the backyard for got this cover from the rain, for the snow, this equipment. No, it's. I think maybe no, it's big trouble. This. No, now it's big trouble after 12 years.
Well,
I live here 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's first trouble with me.
Well, I'm not sure that, I mean, if somebody told you that, it sounds as if somebody has given you some advice, but the building permit.
Uh-huh. I had a building permit for garage post and fence.
At Melbourne?
Eh?
At Melbourne?
No, 516 West Broadway. 516 West Broadway. It's my house.
You had a permit for a fence?
Yes, fence, garage, and porch. I try to find with here in the office. This is for 97, 98.
Mm-hmm.
You know. This gives me this Guerrero Scaloni, no? No. Put together the fence, no, it's a permit, you know. If for this now, say to me, need take care of. Now, I very sick for blood pressure, diabetes, everything. Slow, this take care of everything, no? I will take care of this from the fence. I will take care of everything this. Explain to me, need from the fence, need 5 feet.
Okay.
5 feet have another porch.
Okay.
This is no problem.
There.
Another small roof, I take care of.
When will you take it off?
I'm working in this now.
You're working at it now?
Yes.
When will you
A lot.
will you be finished?
Look in this, I have trouble now for, in August, I will go to Florida for treatment for my knee. July, maybe somebody help me. Maybe somebody.
Okay.
Me.
When did this first appear on our agenda, on our radar screen?
December of 2012.
Okay, so you see where we're at. We're into July of 2012, and we still don't have a date. You can't give me a date certain that this will be completed. I'm sorry. We are. This is 2013. We are 8 months into this.
August, maybe finish this. It's slow, I work in this, I take care of. Inside this private fence, I working. August, it's all right, August.
Hours?
August.
August.
I'm sorry for my language.
No, you're fine. I apologize. Please weigh in while I have it.
To summarize, we were talking about the fence, but there are other issues here, right? Also?
On the zoning issues is when he put the lean-tos to the fence, didn't meet setback regulations, and kind of looking at the pictures, it seems as though to kind of enclose all of his items that he was talking about earlier, that's why he did that. I think the garage and the fence was fine. It's when he had actually attached that lean-to and then put siding along the fence to kind of more enclose the structures that he makeshift structures.
And weren't there some other issues? Were there mechanical issues here?
There were vehicles,
Equipment?
he was using it as by ordinance, by code, by zoning code, he was using it as a impound yard, there was multiple vehicles on the property. He's taking care of the vehicles and cleaning the property out, other than, like you said, his lawnmower, snow blower, and that type of stuff that could be considered residential use. The things right now are the siding on the fence, the fact that he's converted the fence into the back wall of several lean-tos on his property. Those are the problems. The siding on the fence, it impedes the airflow, and the ordinance specifically states that you can have a privacy fence, but you cannot impede the airflow.
So we're down to two issues, the siding on the fence and the lean-tos.
Correct.
And Mr. Perez said that he's taking the siding off the fence by the end of August?
As of this morning, Building Commissioner Bill Brinkline drove past there, and there's been no movement at all since the last meeting that we had discussing
But
this.
did I understand correctly that, Mr. Perez, you said you would have that done by the end of August?
Yes. No, I say for this roofing from the 5 feet from the fence first. Siding, I don't know what trouble with siding. Siding is for cover wood fence inside.
You can't cover the wood fence.
No?
No,
Okay.
you can't do that.
I take it off.
It has to come off.
I take it off.
And if you're going to move the structures
Yes,
closer,
yes.
you still have to come in for a building permit for that.
Eh?
You still need a building permit for that. Even though you're gonna move them 5 feet from the property
Yeah,
line,
yeah.
you'll still need to come in for a building permit for that.
No, I take it off everything. I working in this. This first, I working here. This is before.
Are you cleaning it out? Is that what you're doing right now?
Yes. You look in this top, or it wood, or it top. Maybe everybody look the inside. Everybody look. Maybe he got it. He look. He maybe look. I don't know.
Code enforcement, do you have anything to add? Okay, can you give us a status again, what you think the violations are, just to recap?
Basic violations are he did not obtain a building permit to erect the sheds, lean-tos. We do not require a permit to put up a fence, so we didn't need one. He put up a privacy fence, then he attached siding, multicolored siding on the outside of the privacy fence on the west side. And he added a roof and sidewalls to make the fence part of the structure as lean-to.
And so that would also require a building permit
Yes.
to add the roof? Okay.
That would be, he did not meet the setback standards
Okay.
for the lean-to or additional structure.
So in all likelihood, if he requests a building permit, it will not be granted.
Not for where they are today.
Right, so it would require removal of the roof from the fence?
Yes.
Okay, so I hear building permit is required to make the improvements, as well as removing the siding from the fence. Is there anything else?
The lean-tos have to be removed and meet the setback standards of 5 feet.
Which again, would be
With the building.
with the building permit?
Right.
Okay, so if we just say building permits have to be issued, and you have to remove the siding from the fence, is there anything else?
Add in there that the auxiliary structures have to meet the setback standards of 5 feet.
Which is also part of the building permit process?
Right.
Okay, so.
Yeah, we
it-
wouldn't approve a building permit for what's up there now.
Right. Okay, building permit and remove the siding. Mr. Perez, thank you for being here. And thank you for taking the time to learn what is required. I know with the language barrier, it's a little bit harder for us to communicate, and I appreciate that. There are a number of things that are required here inside the city. You have to have a building permit before you could build, you're supposed to have a building permit approval before you can attach a roof to your fence. That's one of the things that we're going to require you to get a building permit, and even though that structure is already built, in all likelihood, you're going to have to remove that roof from the fence. You're going to have to take the siding off the fence as well. And you need a building permit anytime you build a structure on there, if it's any kind of permanent structure. So in all likelihood, you're going to have a very busy couple of months.
Yes.
I think the board of Works is inclined to give you 2 months to come into compliance.
Yes.
But please also keep in mind that we've been dealing with this since December. The language barrier is no longer an excuse for not making the progress.
Every time I come in here before for permit for everything, every time. Never I made nothing if no got a permit, no.
Sure, and there again, it may be just there wasn't a clear understanding of what was expected. But at the same time, we do receive complaints, especially about the fence and the siding on the fence. It's not acceptable here. I'm prepared to offer until 28th. I'm prepared to give you until August 28th to come into full compliance with all of the issues that are spelled out here with our planning department and with our code enforcement officer and with our building commissioner. I would strongly urge you to be in contact with them so that they can give you a step-by-step progress report and update every week or two to let you know when you're getting close and what else needs to be done.
For this, I bring picture working this, no?
Okay.
I will bring more picture for this. I make this, I bring picture, I look in this.
I would suggest that you remain in contact with these people and get all their contact information so that you can call them and invite them over to do an inspection. Don't wait till August 27th to do it. You need to be in contact with them every week or 10 days just to let them know that you're still making progress, because the clock strikes 12 on August 28th. That means if it's not finished on August 28th, the city is very likely to order a property cleanup, and we will go clean it up ourselves. We don't start sorting through things. We tear it down and haul it away and everything that's in it. So that would be August 28th. So we will give you that time. It's 8 weeks.
Yeah, no, you see, no, I say, for me, I have a lot to work. I have a lot of pain, everything in my body. I not only have my house, 516 West Broadway. I have 420 Melbourne. I have 424 Melbourne say. This is taxes property say. You need cut grass there, cut grass in 420, cut grass in 1321, 512 saying is another building. It's a lot to work.
I appreciate your predicament and having so many properties that you have to maintain. I would, if I were you, I would advise, let me put it this way, I would advise you to focus on 516 East Broadway.
Yes.
August 28th, we will, if it's not completed by August 28th, we will have you back into the Board of Works, and we will inform you at that time that we're going to do the property cleanup ourselves.
And that date is September 4th.
And that date would be September 4th. Okay?
I would second your motion. You want to repeat it?
I would make the motion that we grant an extension for Mr. Perez to complete the improvements at the property located at 516 East Broadway and the extension.
Wait.
I'm sorry, 516 West Broadway. And that extension would be granted until August 28th. It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, it passes on a vote of 3-0. Okay, August 28th, Mr. Perez.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank
You're welcome.
Uh, 208 South 6th Street. Hi, Will.
Good morning. We had the meeting with the property owners at 208 210 South 6th Street and 214 South 6th Street. The owner at 208 South 6th Street did not attend the meeting, although they were notified by certified mail. They did sign for the letter, so they were aware of the meeting, and they did not appear as part of the meeting. We had a fairly good discussion with the property owners. As my report has requested, I would request permission to have one more week to continue to negotiate a couple items with the other property owners, to then be able to present to the board a recommendation that the other two abutting property owners are on board with and are willing to support, so we can have a consensus of agreement on how to deal with that. That, of course, is only going to be a recommendation to the board, for them to review.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Under new business, we have a request for a street closure, Dykeman Excavating, for 2 blocks of Psychic Street between Bartlett and Schultz to install underground drainage pipe. I think this is all part of the south side stormwater runoff project that seems to be never ending.
How long is that for?
And it would be for 2 weeks, from Wednesday, July 10th, I'm sorry, for 1 week, from Wednesday, July 10th through Wednesday, July 17th.
I make a motion we approve the street closure on Psychic Street from July the 10th through July the 17th as requested.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? All right, hearing none. Mr. Public Works Superintendent, any objections?
No, sir. I
Any-
visited and everything is in compliance for our department.
Okay, thank you very much. It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed? Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Passes on a vote of 3-0. Another request, Mary Ellen Thrall is requesting a curb cut for wheelchair access at 1608 North Street. She wants to start immediately. Wheelchairs in need to access the street. She's requesting that they have permission to cut the curb, which is already broken, to put in a new concrete ramp. I make the motion that we approve the request by Mary Ellen Thrall at 1608 North Street for a curb cut to allow wheelchair access.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, passes on a vote of 3-0. Lucky Sports Bar, Megan Ramirez requests outside tables and chairs. I have visited with her in my office. She's requesting to put 4 tables on the sidewalk. Each table seats 2 people. They're very small. I explained to her that alcohol is not allowed on the sidewalk, and she completely understood. They're going to put the tables and chairs out of the morning and take them into the evening. So I would make a motion that we allow tables and chairs to be placed on the sidewalk outside Lucky Sports Bar, which is the old Elks Club on
Second.
5th Street. It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Passes on a vote of 3-0. Reports, Building Commissioner.
Good morning again.
Good morning.
I submitted my report for your review. If there's any questions, I'll take those questions. Other than that, it's a very brief, small report. We already addressed 208 South 6th Street.
I make the motion when we approve the Building Commissioner's report as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? It passes on a vote of 3-0. Code Enforcement Officer.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
You've got my report, my weekly report. The numbers continue to grow rather dramatically. I submit my report for your approval.
I make a motion to approve the the code enforcement officer's report.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passes on a vote of 3-0. Superintendent of Public Works. Hi, Dan.
Good morning. I respectively submit my report for the Mount Hope Cemetery and also the Logansport Street Department. Hopefully you have time to go through, and I'll answer any questions and ask for your approval.
Are there any pending property cleanups that we've ordered? Are you up to date on them now?
Yes, we are all up to date.
And how are those going?
The more we get into them, the worse they get.
No, you
We
lost a tree and,
Just to let you know, May and June, as far as every other week, we go through and do what we call a brush route. We're over 150 pickup trucks or dump truck loads ahead of what we did last year. I'm sure your office is getting calls, and we're on it. We've worked some overtime, and this week, by Friday, we will be caught up again. Hopefully, no more storms, and people, I think last year it was dry, and I think a lot of them got out and tore shrubs out this year, and a lot of limbs. But so we're where we need to be. Very busy down on 2nd Street by All Saints. We put new curbing in, and there's new sidewalks going in, and it's going to be milled down and a completely new street put in there. So we're real happy with how that's going.
okay.
I would make a motion that we approve the superintendent public health report.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All
Thank
opposed?
you.
Passed. Thank you. There is no report from the chief of police or the fire chief. Are there any